Hey, what up guys? Welcome back to my fish room. If you're new, please subscribe and hit the like button. I have a whole bunch of fish tanks in my bedroom, and I have a whole bunch of videos covering how I've done it and how you can do it too. This video is just going to be going over all my fish tanks right now. So to start off, this is a 40-gallon breeder with a single fish in it, and this is a knife fish named Slippy. He's pretty popular and has grown my channel an extreme amount. Just a warning though, this is a grow out tank, this is not his final home. But he is a super cool clown knife, and the story of him is I got him on predatoryfins.com. Anyways, let's move on. This here is my 75-gallon cichlid tank. This tank is super cool and all the cichlids seem to get along very well. This 75 gallon's been set up for a while now and all the cichlids get along pretty well. I have 5 fire mouths in here, and then I have 2 keyhole cichlids, a male and a female. And then there's also an Oscar in here named Sheriff, and then a tilapia family cichlid that is actually a starry night cichlid, and I call him Batman, which is the darker spotted one. And I like to keep him because I think he's just a nicer version of a Jack Dempsey. If I had a Jack Dempsey in this tank, he would have already killed half the fish in this tank, if not all of them. But the Starry Nights seem to just be a lot more easy. These are my keyhole cichlids. I really like them. You can see the female has beat up the male a little bit, but that's okay. They get along for the most part. This tank also has a bunch of bristlenose plecos and clown plecos, which the cichlids don't really bother too much. They really like to hide, and they only come out when I'm feeding this tank. Besides that, this tank just gets regular water changes and it works pretty well, but obviously this is not the final home for any of the fish in this tank. This is just a grow out as well, and eventually I would love to put these fish in a much bigger home. If you guys like videos like this, please let me know, because I go over my fish room all the time, and I'm trying to find out what you guys like watching. I know this tank sparks a lot of hate on my channel, but honestly, it is a very large aquarium and it is not the final home for these fish, but I think it works for now, so we're going to move on to the next aquarium, which is my big hexagon tank. If you guys don't know the story, I got this on Facebook Marketplace right in my neighborhood for 40 bucks for the fish tank and the stand. And of course, I had to set up a giant community tank in it because I've always wanted to do this with an angelfish. So this tank has a bunch of fish that I've had in the fish room for probably 7 or more years. Pretty much any fish that I've had in the community fish room, I put into this tank. So a lot of these fish are very old, 7 or 8 years old. And they're all doing very well in this community. So I usually just keep this tank very well fed, and it does pretty well for me. If you guys enjoyed this tank, let me know. I can do a full deep dive and go over each and every fish in this tank. So those are pretty much the 3 main aquariums, but let's move on to the ones I've recently set up. So this tank here is a 20 tall, and I have a whole bunch of fish in here. I have silver tip tetras, which really caught my eye in the store and I had to pick them up. And then there's also some rummy nose tetras in here as well. And then besides that, there's an angelfish in this tank. And there's also this gold severum, which I'm growing out for the 75 gallon. Now, a fish you really won't see in this tank is the Indian glassfish. There is a whole bunch of them in here, but they really hide in the bottom near the plants, so you never really get to see them. But anyways, I've been growing out this angelfish, hoping to breed it with the big one I have in my other tank here. So that is my plan with this tank, is just growing out this angelfish and the severum right now. Next up, we have my beta fish Samurai. This is just a beta fish that I rescued from Petco, and I did a whole series on this guy, and I will be making videos in the future on this fish as well. I love beta fish, and I think they're awesome, and You really need to get one if you're in the hobby and you've never had a betta fish. You really are missing out. My last tank over here is just a quarantine tank. Now this has my new breeding project, which these are blue danios. I think they're really cool. They're really bright danios and they almost look like a rice fish or some other fish. They don't really even look like a danio, so I'm going to try and breed them and make videos on breeding them. But for right now, I need to quarantine them and make sure they're eating before I begin any of that. If you guys like my fish room, please check out my other videos. I post so many videos on this channel. Make sure you subscribe because I post all the time. Thank you for watching. Peace.